Good morning, it's Barbara. It is warm outside, but it's only 56% humidity, so that's cool. Or 8, but I can't read that very well. I'm going outside, and it is not actually morning anymore. And there's my puppy. She got groomed. And there's my other puppy. Burley. There you are. She was scared last night. It's a shame. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Yeah, we had fireworks last night, so we will be cleaning the carpet today because she always pees when she's afraid of thunder and such. So I'm late today. I slept in. I woke up in the middle of the night because my head was itching me. So yesterday I did what I said I was going to do. I went grocery shopping and then I watered. And I had to water take the hose out towards the lamppost, which you've seen, and I had to take it the other direction to the new forsythia so I could water the forsythia because I want my new forsythia to do well. And in the process of going in and out of the side gate over there, which we do not use very often, a paper wasp stung me in my hand. It's red there. I don't know if you can see it. And for the first 2 or 3 hours, I thought, well, that wasn't bad. It hurt when it stung, but it was fine. And then it is all swollen. I can't barely do this. You can see, it's hard to, oh, there you go. Turn my hand the wrong way. Anyway, it itches like the dickens, and Dennis says, you might not be able to knit. I said, oh, maybe not, but I can knit if I want to. I will actually knit a little bit yesterday. Very little, but a little. After I got stung, but before it, the crazy thing is it puffed up like 10 hours later. This all happened like 9 or 10 hours after the sting, so I don't know. I took a couple Benadryl. It was fine, and I went to bed, but I woke up in the middle of the night with itchy, throbbing hand. So that's where I am at the moment. But it's a beautiful Sunday. It is not nearly as humid as it has been, so it's actually pretty nice outside on the deck. I might actually spend time on the deck today, where I didn't think I would, and we certainly didn't enjoy being outside yesterday. But everything got watered and is looking good, so I'll need to water again. Well, I should water tomorrow, but I'm not going to be here. No vlog tomorrow. I'm going back to State College. So I've been thinking about how we, the service and everything. My cousin and her husband are coming. My brothers and their families are coming. Jason at least is coming. I'm not sure if Allison and the girls are coming. But, so we're going to have family there. And I'm not sure who else will come. But I'm planning on having a family picnic for dinner after the service on Monday. Dennis and I don't eat in restaurants, so having it in a restaurant doesn't really work for us. And John has suggested a park that's near the memorial place, and he says it's very shady, it's very nice. They have new bathroom facilities. I'm like, great. I found a local caterer who will do a hot drop-off for dinner for us wherever we want. And that's what I think I'm going to do. So it turns out my brother Tim is going to be there tomorrow along with John. So the 3 of us are going to be together. We'll have a powwow, figure out everything we want to do, and go from there. And I'm quite sure that my father would approve of whatever we decide to do. He would not have any objection to a lovely picnic in the woods with his family together. He would think that would be great, and he would wish to be there. The only question is, Mama, you know. So we'll talk about Mama tomorrow. Meanwhile, my agenda today, well, I feel like I mean, it's already afternoon, let's face it. I've already sort of sorted out that issue, talked to John. We're going to finish it off tomorrow and make arrangements. You always get too much food, so if anybody else shows up at the service who we want to invite, we can invite. It'll be fine. And yeah. I guess we'll bring some of Dennis's wine, and we'll just toast Daddy and his wonderful life. Go from there. Someone asked how we ended up in Pennsylvania, if he was an Oregon boy. Well, when my father had terrible asthma, and when my sister was a baby, he had a horrible asthma attack when he was going to college in Oregon. And his doctor said, if you want to live, you have to move to California. You just have to move to California now. And so they did. They moved to California, and Daddy went to Chico State University, and I was born in Chico. He graduated and started teaching, and he was teaching in Tracy for a while, Tracy, California, and that's where my brother Tim was born. And then he moved to Patterson, California, which is a small town, and that's where my brother John was born. And he was a high school teacher. He taught industrial arts, and he was the coach, and so he achieved his goals of being a coach. And I don't know how many years he taught. Well, we moved when I was between 3rd grade and 4th grade. So how old is that? I was 8 or 9, right? Oh, Isabel will be 12, and she's going into the 6th grade. And Samantha will be 9. And she is going, no, Isabel will be 11 going into the 6th grade, and Samantha will be 8 going into the 3rd grade. So I was 9 when we moved from California, and so he had been a teacher for 7 or 8 years at that point. And just like everywhere else, and probably still to this day, when you're a teacher, you have to do continuing education. And so Daddy had to do continuing education, and he applied to universities all over the country, and it came down to a choice between Menominee, Wisconsin, and State College, Pennsylvania. I don't know exactly. The University of Wisconsin of some sort is in Menominee, I think. But they decided on State College because it was the furthest away. And my parents were very, very adventurous. I think I've told you the story, but the summer before I was in kindergarten, my parents bought a trailer, and they were moving to Patterson. They got a trailer, and they drove the Alaska Highway, pulling a trailer with 2 kids. I was 5 and my sister was 8. My grandfather sat between us so we wouldn't fight, and my 18-month-old brother sat in the front with my parents. And it's 2 weeks to Alaska, and I don't know how long they were in Alaska, and then 2 weeks back. They're insane. They were insane. They didn't even have disposable diapers at the time. Anyway, so they were adventurous people. And so they decided on Penn State because it was the furthest away, because they were from California and the West Coast. And they got here and they loved it. And my dad, you know, at the registration, back in those days, registration was in rec hall, and every class, they had computer cards, and you know, they gave out computer cards for each class, and when they didn't have any cards left, the class was full, kind of deal. And my dad was signing up for his courses that he had to take for his continuing education, and he ended up talking to the guy who was in charge of the engineering department or engineering graphics. And my dad asked him if there were, you know, if they needed any help, because he was, you know, taught mechanical drawing, and Mr. Wheathouse said to him, "You are the answer to a young girl's prayers," because apparently he was really looking for somebody. And anyway, Daddy got the job. You know, and he stayed. He's got a job, and, you know, got promoted and got his master's degree, and he stayed. And that's how we ended up in State College. And it was really funny because my mother was working for the local paper, the Patterson Irrigator, you know, as a part-time job. And that was owned by Ira and Noni Kaplan, who were wonderful, lovely people. Their daughter Polly was my best friend. Did I tell you this yesterday? And anyway, the Kaplans moved back to the Chicago area before we moved, and they lived in Highland Park. And so the summer of the move, my sister and I flew to Highland Park and spent the summer with the Kaplans. And my parents packed up everything they owned into a trailer that my dad built, packed up my 2 younger brothers, and so this was in 1964, so John would have been 4 and Tim would have been 6, drove across the country and met us in Chicago area, and we ended up moving to Pennsylvania, and we never left. My sister left, and my brothers left and came back, but my sister never came back. Anyway, that's how we ended up in Pennsylvania, and they were very, very happy with their life in Pennsylvania, and they lived a long and happy life. So that's how I ended up in Pennsylvania, because it was the furthest away that accepted my dad for his continuing education courses. Funny how life works, you know? Funny how life works. So today I'm, thinking about my father and the memorial. And tomorrow the hard work starts, because I am his executor. So I have to get all the paperwork. I have to, talk to everybody. In fact, it occurs to me that I might need to stay over because I have to go to the bank. Maybe I'll get a chance to talk to the lawyer. I don't know. So if you don't hear from me on Tuesday, don't worry. Don't worry. It's just I have paperwork and administrative things to do, and I think there's going to be a lot of that. And I feel like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I feel like I have to get organized. And I am not that organized. But I think I have to get organized. But I do feel like I'll have the help of my siblings, and that's nice. And so, anyway, that's what's going on with me. I am not, I haven't, oh, I have to make my lemon juice today. I peeled the lemons yesterday, but I have to make the juice today. That's the only thing on my agenda. And I'm hoping to craft with Christy tonight. I haven't crafted with her in months. She's been massively busy. Then she was in Spain for a month. Then we had company last Sunday, and I watched her vlog. Aura and I watched her vlog yesterday. She looked great. And I'm looking forward to talking to her. And yeah, I mean, I did talk to her, but I called her to tell her grandfather died. You know, that's not the same thing. So I'm looking forward to Zooming with her tonight, and I'll work on my sweater a little bit, I think. I'll just do some knitting. I am this close to splitting for the sleeves. And once I split for the sleeves, then it's easy sailing. Just knit, 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 knit. And I can just do that whenever I want. I don't know why I'm making a big deal out of it. So, yeah, that's my plan. Talk to Christy today and make lemon juice and whatever else. But I went to the store yesterday, so I don't have to do that. So, no pressure. And I'm wounded. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's crazy. And it was so itchy last night. I was awake in the middle of the night being itchy. So, I don't know. It's interesting because when Pat came, she was exactly in the same condition. Her hand was all swollen. She had been stung by a wasp on her deck. And I was stung by a wasp in my fence. So, we have to buy some wasp spray to get rid of that thing if we ever want to use that gate again. Because, you know, wasps don't die when they sting you. Bees do. Bees commit suicide. Wasps don't. Anyway, all right, enough of that. So just, you know, I talked to my sister yesterday. Just, it's been, sadly, it's an event where you end up talking to a lot of people that you haven't talked to in a long time, and it's really a shame. My cousin, my uncle, yeah. So can't remember what movie it was, but there was a movie about a person who pretended that she died, and they, you know, had her funeral, and all people came from all over for her funeral. People she hadn't seen in years and years and years, and they didn't come when she was alive. You know, they came when they thought she was dead. It was an interesting concept. You know, but I have been, you know, I did tell my mother almost 30 years ago I want someplace to put flowers, but I have given my mother lots of flowers over the years because I do understand that it's ridiculous and she should enjoy the flowers before she's dead. So I do bring her flowers and send her flowers so that she, you know, she gets the flowers now. So yeah. Anyway, so, you know, all the stuff I don't know what I have to do, all the stuff I do know I have to do. So I'm working on it. Meanwhile, I'm doing all right. Don't worry about me. And if you don't hear from me on Tuesday, don't worry. It's just because there was too much to do in State College for me to come home. So I'll take a go bag. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe. Oh, and Saturday is our Zoom. Saturday the 14th, 13th is our Zoom. So mark your calendar. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Meanwhile, stay safe and stay sane.